So today's video is going to be an assumptions video. I'm joined by my husband Sean, who is currently eating some toast.
I am.
He really wanted to go to Einstein's Bagels today, and then by the time he got there, they were closed.
At 2 o'clock.
So the closest thing that we had was toast. So apologies. He will finish eating that soon. But anywho,
One more slice.
we asked all of you to submit either assumptions about me or him or both of us. So it's just going to be kind of a chatty, fun video. So this is going to be broken up into two. There's a lot of assumptions, and this is actually future us having talked for about an hour. So I will be breaking this up into multiple parts. Here is part one. There were a lot. I can't get to all of them, but I'll just start from the beginning. This one says that you love smelling my hair.
No.
That's not to say my hair smells bad.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh, stinky hair.
Oh, it's so gross.
No, I'm just,
not a hair sniffer.
Smeller.
Yeah.
Hair
Maybe
sniffer.
that means I should... Well, if I just washed my hair, he might be like, oh, your hair smells nice. But yeah, he's not like a while we're hugging, like, kind of
wafted in.
husband. Next one says that you compliment each other well. That's really nice. I think so. Do you think we do?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
We married each other, so I'm very shy. I do not like talking to strangers, but then once I get to know you, I'm probably too chatty. My mom used to, when we would carpool when I was in college, because she worked near where I was going to school, we would carpool sometimes because I lived at home to save money, and I would be telling her about my day, and she'd be like, just get to the end of the story already. You just talk so much. So when I know you, I talk a lot.
I think I used to be more shy, but my job has made me where I can't be afraid of phones or emailing people or talking to people just every day. But I still don't go out of my way to be super... I feel like, I was about to say friendly. It's not that I'm not...
You're friendly.
I'm not friendly, but like, I'm maybe a little bit more reserved.
Yeah. But I feel like between the two of us, if one of us needs to make a phone call, he's going to be the one to do it. That's one aspect. We zeroed in on a very specific thing. I just think in general, I'm a little bit more bubbly, high energy, and he is much more mellow. And I think I think we complement each other in that way. I like him. He likes me. Yay for us, I guess. You are both givers. I think that's true. I mean, I feel kind of conceited being like, it's indeed true. We care about other people. But, I mean, he's really sweet in that if he heard about something or read about something, he'll be like, oh, I think I'm going to donate to this thing. And I'm like, go for it. And then I'll be like, look at this poor doggy.
I was just saying vice versa, too.
Yeah, we both, we'll let each other know. We trust each other with money and stuff, so it's not like we're spending our entire paychecks where then suddenly we can't buy food for ourselves or something, clearly, as the toast showed. But, yeah, we both like to try to do what we can. You like to tease each other.
I think that is very accurate.
It's very accurate. We're constantly making fun of each other. You want another dog.
So she wants another dog.
Yes.
I like my Luna. I'm very loyal to Luna. And I don't know if I want...
He doesn't think
another
there's
dog.
room in his heart to love another dog. And I think
she's perfect.
He doesn't understand that your heart will expand and that you can indeed love more than one dog at a time. Speaking of, you've got your dog dad
I do.
mug. Do you want to read it to the good
I can.
people?
So
I got him this mug from Redbubble a while
it says,
ago.
Dear Dog Dad, thank you for being my dad. If I had a different dog dad, I would bite him on the nuts, chew up his slippers, and go find you.
Anyway, I follow all these dog accounts and Akita hashtags, and there was this person whose dogs had puppies, and they looked like Luna when she was a puppy, and it was Snowball and
Flower, right?
Flower. Yeah. They were so cute, and I was like,
really
hey, so, should we get these little sisters for Luna? And he was like, no, I really wanted them.
I was pretty close. The only thing is, Like, puppies are a lot of work.
Yeah, and I'm the one that would deal with them because I work from home. You just come home and get to be like, wow, and you get to play with them. It's the best part. Plus, we have a backyard now. When we got Luna as a puppy, it was very difficult to go anywhere or do anything because you constantly had to schedule it around. Okay, well, we can't leave the dog alone for too long because she can't get out.
And then also be like, oh, she went to the bathroom at this time, so if we go now...
Yeah.
And she would still end up going to the bathroom in her crate.
And then I'm the one that constantly had to give her baths because I was the one that was home. You would get the best of it.
That's true.
But yes, I want another dog to answer that. You are a perfectionist, is the assumption.
Is that for you?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're a perfectionist.
You guys laugh together constantly. Yes,
that's true.
I think that's true. When my dad was with us, we would be constantly singing songs, making songs up. We'd sing a lot of things. I'm sure you guys know when you sing to your dog or your cat or something, or you're just singing about
the dishes or whatever.
Yeah, or I was like singing about how it's 2 weeks until my birthday. That's the kind of stuff that my dad would always laugh and be like, you guys are so weird. But yes, we were pretty much constantly giggling.
I feel like we fall into like a call and response type thing a lot of the time. Like, I'll just sing something and then you'll sing it back to me and then I'll sing it again.
And you always find what I'm singing funny. Yeah. Funnier than what you just sang.
Because you use a goofy voice.
And usually you laugh because I like close my eyes and
give it your all.
Sing to the heavens. I think you guys are still very much in love, and I do mean the butterfly in stomach kind. That's cute.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think we are in love. I don't know if it's that initial honeymoon phase, kind of the way you feel when you first are dating someone. You're like, oh my gosh, everything about them is so perfect. I can't wait to learn more. I think that we really like each other, and I'm constantly like, oh, I really appreciate him, and then I think he appreciates me too. So we often compliment each other, and I try to tell him all the time how much I appreciate him and thank you every time he does anything even remotely nice for me.
Even remotely nice.
No, I mean like a casual nice thing, like, you know, if I often am like, can you get me one of my drinks? Which makes me sound like an alcoholic because I'm always like, I need a drink, which I'm referring to these, which are ice carbonated water. But I always am like, thank you so much. You're always getting things for me. I appreciate it so much. And it's not to the point where it's stupid. You know, it sounded forced when I said it just now, but it's a very casual thing. We're just constantly, I feel like, really appreciative of each other and thinking the other person is great. And we have similar things that we like, but within those things, we like different things. That was confusing. So what I mean is, with reading, I primarily read fantasy, and he reads not fantasy. He reads a mix of things. And then in music, I'm classical, he's jazz. So we always have a main topic that a lot of times, or main hobby that we both enjoy. But then within that, we like different things, which I think we always love that the other person has a connection to something. I think we like each other.
Yeah.
That's a simple enough answer. You walk him through the video's concept and calm his nerves before filming.
I think there's some truth to that. I think it depends on the thing. Anyways, I don't think I was walked through this particular video. I think I was ready for this.
I think that one example would be I did a video a while back where I found 1-star reviews and 5-star reviews for the same books. Oh, that's true.
Books. I was like really thrown off by that.
And you're like, I don't understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But you understood.
And I think sometimes like I think I understand and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. And then like we start and I do it like completely wrong.
And I'm like, no.
It's not what we're doing. And I'm like, oh. Explain it to me again.
And then he used to be more nervous.
That's true. There's a lot of you out here.
A really loud gulp. It was like perfect timing with the being nervous idea. But sometimes there will be things that he's interested in. For example, he wanted to do a favorites of the year video, and then he's like, you have too many subscribers. I don't want to talk about this. Too many people are watching. Or one of the literary books that he's reading, and he's like, I don't want, because, you know, your channel has a fair amount of eyes, and I don't want my review of this random literary book, whatever it may be, to be something that gets a lot of views, because he feels like there are a lot of people more qualified to discuss because they're very dense and there's a lot of references and things like that, and he just doesn't feel like his take on something should be the one that's viewed.
Yeah.
So
My take is probably not going to be like probably the most profound out there.
He really likes Leaf by Leaf.
I do.
And the Book Chemist. So check them out if you are looking for some literary booktubers. But yeah, I try to encourage him and say, you should definitely do it. People would love to see it. There are people that are out there that read fantasy and literary works, and they would love to see it. And if anything, then it might help, because if what you say gets brought up, then it might suggest these other people. But I think you're also kind of like, I don't want to look stupid.
Bingo.
Not that he is, but kind of tying back to that he feels like other people know more. But yeah, I guess in that way I encourage him, but then sometimes he doesn't end up doing it, which is totally fine. You
made me sound like a quitter.
You have loads of cute little traditions, like the unicorn mugs. Oh, dang it, you're not drinking out of a unicorn.
I have one in here, though. This is a unicorn mug.
One of them. This is the first one that started it all.
It says, I'm not weird, I'm limited edition. And you can see it's a unicorn with
like a pool donut.
A little donut.
Except for it looks like it is an actual donut. Yeah.
Also see some coffee stains on there, too.
We haven't had the chance to travel a lot, but when we do travel, we like to get fridge magnets. But
That's pretty standard.
That's pretty standard, yeah. I have a song I sing to him sometimes called I Love My Husband. And it's just, I just say I love my husband over and over again. Is that a tradition?
It's got a certain melody to it. It's very captivating.
Do we have traditions besides the unicorn mug thing? I feel like if we do, I don't think of them. Yeah. We don't have formal traditions. The unicorn mug thing is something.
I think something you tried to do, and you've brought it up before, is you will read something I like in August for my birthday.
Last year was not great.
Yeah, not
Since
great. Yeah.
My dad died in August, so that last year I didn't really get to do that. But yeah, that's something I try to do, is read something you like. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like off the top of my head I can't think of them. But then I'm sure after we're done filming, I'm like, we do that really cute thing. and then I'll remember. You guys are best friends. Yeah.
I think that's true. I think I call you my best friend.
Yeah, he tells me
you're my best friend.
He says it like that too. It's usually when you're sleeping, you're getting ready for bed. You're like, you're my best friend. You guys do almost everything together. Yes and no. I think that we both like things that are very solitary in nature. So if we're reading, I actually don't like both of us reading at the same time. When I'm reading, I usually like if he's going to play video games. And if he's reading, a lot of times I want to derp around in a video game. I don't know. There's something about companionable silence for sure. But there's something I like there being background noise, but then having him nearby. So yes and no. We do a lot of things together.
As I said, we play like board games.
I tell him pretty often I wish he could just quit his job and be home with me all the time, because I like him a lot. I mean, I really like spending time with him. But there are those days where if for whatever reason, obviously quarantine changes things, but if he were to say like, oh, hey, like my friends invited me to this thing and I was thinking about going, but I don't know, because sometimes he'll be like, I would rather just be with you. But sometimes I'm like, you should go hang out with your friends. And I'm happy for him to go hang out with people. And then there's a part of me that's like, I have the house to myself tonight.
I think this is what I was trying to touch on earlier when I ended up saying I wasn't friendly. It's not that I'm not friendly. I
would just almost always rather stay at home.
Well, yeah, once I get there, I have a really good time. Yes. But, like, for whatever reason, getting me to go anywhere is really difficult. It's like, but I could just stay here and not go.
Here's how things have changed for us within our marriage. So I used to teach private violin lessons, and I was constantly driving around to different people's houses and saw a lot of kids. I didn't really have coworkers who were adults. But either way, I still had a job that involved interacting with other people. But since things have changed and now this is it is my job now. He goes to work and he's around other grown-ups. And I'm with my dog, which I love my dog. But on the weekends, I'm like, I really want to go to the grocery store, like just so I can get out of the house. We also are down to one car, so I couldn't even leave the house if I wanted during the week because he needs the car for work. So now, it's not that I like social activities that much, But oh my gosh, sometimes am I like, sunshine and other humans, even though I don't really like other humans around me that much. But, oh, someone assumed that we're adorable. Thanks.
Assumed correct.
Our reading tastes differ quite a bit.
That is true.
That is true, yeah. But I feel like, we're an example of...
Well, what I think is funny, too, is, like, our reading tastes genre-wise, I think, is pretty different. But oddly, I think we like a lot of the same
We do.
things. Like, anytime there's anything tragic or
Sad.
sad or maybe a little on the depressing side, we're like, yes, more of that.
Which is funny because our upbringings were very different. So I don't
Yeah.
know why we're both drawn to tragedy.
Yeah, I don't know either. But anyways, I don't know what it is about that. I'm not against fantasy either. I feel like, or I'm not like anti-fantasy. I used to
read mostly fantasy.
read a lot of fantasy.
You just
so.
are kind of tired of stories being 5+ books long. Even
That's actually probably that's probably the main thing. I really am not much of a series. I'm not at all a series person anymore. It's just too much of a commitment.
I think, are an example of the fact that you can have people with totally different reading tastes, reading different age ranges, and both can respect that the other likes it without looking down at the other person. And actually, I was telling him the other day, I found this Reddit thing about reverse book snobbery, where people who like the kinds of books that he reads have a lot of people that just assume they are snobs and that they are pretentious and they think they're better than everybody else, and that they get kind of tired of it because they're thinking, we just happen to like these books, which any kind of judgment of another person off of what they read is annoying to me. And we both appreciate that there are books out there that fit our tastes and our spouse's tastes. It makes us happy when the other person is enjoying something, even if it's not anything. Like, I love that he loves Gravity's Rainbow, even though I'm like, that book is really weird.
Book is really weird.
And then I'll tell him about books I'm liking, and he'll be like, wow, that sounds really good. But not in a way that he wants to read it. So yeah, we do have different reading tastes, but we respect each other, and I just don't understand why it's not that hard. We have an amazing relationship because we're best friends. We kind of talked about that before. Thank you. I think so. You guys look like a backpacking travel couple. That makes me really happy. So for our first wedding anniversary, we actually did go backpacking, kind of sort of. Not like a big week-long backpacking trip, but we took a mini camping trip to prepare for a bigger one. So we went to... There's a trail called West Fork in Sedona, Arizona, and you can walk part of it and then leave, or you can pack all your stuff and you have to wade through water and sometimes swim and stuff, which was...
I was not a fan of
He was not a fan of that, but it was really fun. And then you have your tent and whatever, and then you get that all...
I think that was what helped me, at least on that trip, was we finally got to a place where there were like other people camping, because I was kind of just like, I don't know where we put our stuff.
Yeah, the other people though, because like everybody kind of just sat by the area where there was a fire or something.
Yeah, it was not like a formal campground.
No,
I cannot stress enough. It was just like kind
above
of under,
the water.
Yeah, under this little...
It was a shelf.
Yeah, rock shelf, and there's another
there's
group
a few
camping.
other people.
Yeah, so we're like, I guess we'll stop here.
Yeah, and they're like, so what brings you here? And we're like, it's our wedding anniversary. And they're like, an interesting thing to do for a wedding anniversary. But then we did that to prepare for Havasupai in the Grand Canyon. If you don't know, there is an area of the Grand Canyon. It's usually on postcards and things for Arizona where the water is turquoise. It truly is turquoise. And the rocks are very red. But it takes 10 miles to get there. And it's not a very exciting walk. It's kind of a dried out riverbed. And then you get there and it's gorgeous. And then you get from there over to the campground. And so that first one in Sedona kind of prepped us for the one in the Grand Canyon. But I would say between the two of us, I am more of the adventurous one.
That's true.
And it makes him nervous because I'm always like, what if we go over here? Or what if there's a bear? And he's just like, stop. I feel like you're nicely in your head, like, why is she so dumb? Because you're like, you can't go look at wildlife. I know I can't, but...
Little anecdote. I remember as a young man, I was in Yosemite with my family.
A half dome, right?
Yeah, and my brother and I and my mom, we were all like, we're way up high, and we're going out, and there's like no rails, and we're like basically on this cliff, and we're like, oh, this is fun, whatever. And my dad was like freaking out, and I'd never seen him be that scared before, but he does all sorts of crazy hiking things. He hikes a ton. But, like, him seeing us do that, he was like, I can't, like, watch you guys do that. So he, like, left. I did not understand that until I became married. Because then she's like, I want to go look over this waterfall. I'm like, how about you stand back, like, 10 feet from the ledge there?
And to be fair, I'm also very clumsy. So I fall and trip. And so when we went to Washington at Mount Rainier, which is gorgeous, we were walking and just kind of going along, and I wanted to like cross the little water area, and I slipped, of course, on this slippery rock and then fell, and it was weird. I hadn't felt that emotion of when a kid falls and just starts crying for years, but something about slipping and falling on my butt, the first instinct was to cry, and I'm not a crier, but I like, it wasn't that hurt, but I just wanted to be like, ah! I don't know why, but anyway, I am definitely the more adventurous and the one that wants to backpack. That's why when we went to Iceland and Ireland, I was like, let's just rent a van, and then we can sleep in the van, and we can drive around everywhere. I'm not really a big hotel person, and I'm not a big man-made things person. So if I'm going to go somewhere, I want to see the waterfalls, and I want to see the trees, and I want to see the mountains. I don't care usually about if I'm going to go, especially in the US, if I'm going to another city, I don't care about the city, because I always tell people it's like Phoenix, which is the city where we live. It's Phoenix, but near the ocean, or it's Phoenix, but colder, or it's Phoenix with a well-known coffee shop, or whatever. Like, I just don't care.
I disagree with some of that, but that's okay.
When we go to Europe, the couple times we've been, like in Ireland, I definitely want to see castles.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But I don't usually care about, like, look at this really tall skyscraper.
I do want to say I would definitely 100% do that same Iceland trip again.
Yes.
With the
I want to go back. Van. I want to go back. Not in Ireland, though. Not in Ireland. That camper van shouldn't have even been allowed on those roads.
Terrifying.
So, anyway, that was a long chat for somebody who just assumed we look like a backpacking couple. Oh, okay, so this one says, you thought you were not like the other girls in high school. What do you think about that? We didn't know each other.
Does that mean, like...
You know, like, girls, they're like, I'm not like other girls. I don't care about my looks, and I'm smarter, and I don't care about, like...
I don't know. I'm not sure if I get that vibe, but I don't know.
So, I didn't have a very easy childhood, which we don't need to go into details about, but I was very depressed, and I was very sad, and my home life wasn't very easy, so... I usually went to the library to do my homework, and I'll admit that it was hard for me to understand why people cared about typical high school drama type stuff, because I had such issues with what was going on at home. But it wasn't that I thought less of those people, or like, I'm not like other girls, I'm better than them or something. It was more of just, I was like, I can't relate to your problems. I can't relate to this because
It's understandable.
Yeah. So I feel like to some degree, but not maybe in the way that most of us think when we think not like other girls. I don't think I was the, like, petty, I'm better than them sort of thing, or they're beneath me and I care about superior things. It's more just I was really sad, and I was hoping that I had a chance to have a better future. He cooks, and you do a lot of the fixing, building things around the house. What do you think of that?
I don't think either of us really cooked a whole lot until... Very recently, but we've been cooking together. So. Yeah. And as far as being handy, you may be more handy than me. I'm not a handy. In fact, I would say us putting together furniture
it's like the angriest
is like a disaster. Like, because I'll be like, okay, so now it says you have to put piece K2 with L5, and then you kind of are just like winging it, going no instructions. You're like, I think it goes like this.
I don't do no instructions. I don't know. I think
you're a little bit. You try to go the intuitive route. I think a little bit more.
So neither of us are handy, and I think that he weirdly gets more easily overwhelmed with house stuff. there's some things that I'm absolutely not going to touch. I'm like, we're going to hire a professional for this because I don't want to mess up my wall or something. But things that we could do, he tends to be like, and he gets like that quiet angry where I'm just like, dude, what? It's fine. Like, and then I get frustrated because I'm like, why are you getting upset right now? It's no big deal. We're putting together, and then I start pulling the like attitude of gratitude. I'm like, we have a nice house and a nice place to live, and we have this nice piece of furniture to put together. So like, why is this a big deal? But yeah, I think we're
accurate.
The worst side of us comes out when we're trying to build something with unclear directions.
Yes.
Our Mr. Tabur, our TBR cart, easiest thing ever.
Easy.
And then we were like, nice job! Like, high-five each other. We're amazing. We're such a good team.
Thank you for assuming things about us. And we will be back with a part 2 since we've gone on for quite some time.
Bye. Thanks for watching.